Hi. Making sure I'm not, like, red this time. It's been a while since I, like, tried this, like, kind of lighting. I remember the last time I tried it, I was, like, stupidly fucking red for, like, no reason. My ass was in V-trigger. So, it's been a while since I did a vid where I just kind of, like, sat down and I just, like, talked. Like, just an unscripted vid where I give my thoughts on shit. And today, I want to talk about Gief in Street Fighter V, because the last couple weeks, I have pretty much exclusively been playing Zangief in Street Fighter V, and I've enjoyed it, but to be fair, I'm a Street Fighter V enjoyer anyway, you know, I like the game a lot, but I have two primary issues with Street Fighter V. One is the netcode, right? That's obvious. Everyone and their mother has talked about the Street Fighter V netcode. You know, it is rollback, so it's not the worst thing in the world, right? But by rollback standards, it's kind of crusty. The other issue I have with Street Fighter V, I don't know if I've talked about this on the channel before. I've talked about it on stream and stuff. Street Fighter in its later seasons became way better. I don't think anyone's denying that. Street Fighter V took its time becoming a great game, but I think around Season 4, Season 5, it really fucking did. And that reflects on a lot of the characters. They've got a lot of really cool shit going on, like G, Kage, Seth, Gil, Poison, and then like all the Season 5 characters. Their viability is, you know, up and down, up in the air, but they're really fucking fun. Right? They've got a lot of cool shit going on. They've some really cool options, you know. They're just genuinely really fun characters to play. And that's cool. But the problem is, I feel like a lot of the, like, vanilla, older characters in Street Fighter V, I feel like they kind of get left behind. Right? They don't feel as fleshed out. They don't feel as deep as a lot of the older, a lot of the newer characters in Street Fighter V, right? And some of them got buffed over time to kind of have more shit to do and just be more fun overall, you know, like Ryu, Chun-Li, like Ken, you know, I think they've come a pretty long way. They're pretty cool characters now. But then you get characters like Gief, and I think Gief is very, very left behind. He feels very vanilla. He kind of feels like he's playing a different game, but not in a good way. And now I understand that, like, Gief inherently has to be more limited, because he's got the throw loop with his SPD, and that's kind of a rule. His SPD is kind of like a rule break move, right? Command grabs in Street Fighter V, they typically do not give you Oki. Medium, heavy, and EX, they will leave you +2 after a forward dash. And they have their own strengths and weaknesses, right? Like, medium doesn't leave you point blank. Heavy has the shortest range of all his command grabs. And EX, you're spending a bar. Like, it has the range of the light one, and the Oki of the heavy one, even though it doesn't do quite as much damage. But you're spending a bar to do it. It had throw invincibility. Thanks, Capcom. They got rid of that. What the fuck? I didn't even play Zangief when they, like, got rid of the throw invincibility on his EX SPD. And I was upset, right? I thought that was fucking dumb. Give it back. Give it back. That was, like, mean. They fucking acted like that was a universal change. They're like, oh, we're going to get rid of throw invincibility. And then they did it just for Cammy and Gief. And, like, Cammy doesn't give a single fuck. While Gief gives many fucks. That was fucked up. That wasn't cool. And, like, there are other command grabs in Street Fighter V that give you Oki. Specifically, Armika has one. But to compensate, the damage is quite low. And, like, any EX command grab that launches the opponent, like Abigail EX command grab or Nekali EX command grab, they give you Oki if what you end the combo in gives you Oki. And that's fine, because, you know, you're spending a bar to do it. And these moves, you know, they don't have the crazy range that, EX SPD has. Especially Abigail. Abigail tries to grab you and his hand just fucking goes right through you. I play Abigail. That's why I, you know, took this time to play Gief, because, you know, I play Abigail, and I'm like, hey, there's this other big guy here, there's this other big dude, let's see how he's doing. That's what got me interested in Gief in the first place. But, I do want to stress as well, this isn't like a viability discussion, right? Like, I know Gief isn't a particularly viable character in Street Fighter V, well, not viable, but he's he's on the weaker side, right? He's down there with, like, Blanca and the boys. But this video is less about viability, and it's more about, like, fun, right? Viability is important to the people at the top, okay? And realistically, it doesn't affect anyone else, really. Like, for the most part. Some people might pretend it matters, you know? People in gold fucking mashing versus Urian on their wake up, you know? They'll act like it matters. It doesn't really, though. Realistically, unless you're, like, at a very high level, play whoever you want. And for the most part, it just comes down to you. This is talking about fun, right? Because Gief... I don't want to say Gief isn't fun. But parts of his kit are not fun, right? Like, it obviously feels really cool to guess right 4 times in a row and get a perfect. That's cool. You know, it feels cool to, you know, a random 720s feel kind of cool. Not too cool, though. I'll get into that. Getting the hard read with, like, the air SPD, that's fucking sick. That's never not gonna be cool. Oh, empty jumping in with Gief and watching their anti-air whiff. That shit is so cool. Outside of that, yeah, there's not a lot going on, right? Like, just to start off, let's look at Gief's special moves, right? He's got 5. He's got SPD. Key part of his kit. It's a command grab that gives him Oki. And that's incredibly powerful. And that's why the rest of his kit is kind of... And that's fine. Then you've got Lariat. And I'm going to fucking talk about Lariat sooner or later. Because I have some problems with that move. That move does not feel good. Straight up. You've got the air SPD. EX is like a combo ender in certain scenarios after like crush counter heavy kick and like your V-trigger 1 spinneroonie. That's fine. And then the other the meterless ones are just for hard reads. They give you Oki. They do give you Oki. I don't think they deny back rise. I think that's their thing. They give you like similar or the same Oki as the grounded versions, but like the opponent can back rise. I think that's how they work anyway. And then you've the running grab. Fucking hell, the running grab sucks ass. What the fuck? Why every other grab like that, right? The grabs where like the grab doesn't happen right away. They like move forward and then grab the other guy. Like look at Birdie, right? He's got the dolphin grab. He just goes. Right? Good players will not react to that sometimes. They'll get caught out by it. And also the meterless ones, yeah, they're easier to react to. But they give you Oki. That's pretty fucking cool. And then Abigail, right? He's got his running grab. The running grab is like a part of the run. Like that's not its own separate move, okay? You enter the run and then you've got like, you've the punch, you've the overhead flip, you've the parry if you're doing V-Skill 1. And then you've the grab, right? They can know the grab is coming and jump it. Fuck you. Boosh. You hit him with the punch. Clapped. And you might be like, oh, the punch is unsafe. Shut the fuck up. I'm playing Abigail. Do you think I give a fuck about being unsafe? The only thing unsafe is my opponent, because they're not Abigail and I am. Okay? That's how that works. But the thing these moves have in common is that they move forward, right? You input the move, they fucking go. Birdie's EX, like dolphin grab, doesn't even, like, the animation, he's just fucking standing there, and then it immediately goes into him jumping, right? Gief, his running grab, he stands there like a fucking idiot. He's just there like, you know, he's just having the time of his life. And then he starts moving. And that means that using it anywhere outside of the corner is a fucking nightmare. Because the opponent can just look at this idiot just standing there with his hands up, and it's like, okay, I know what he's doing. The amount of times I've had my opponent just hold back, and because they're holding back and Gief is just standing there, by the time Gief actually starts to move, there's like so much fucking space between me and him. I'm probably red now because I'm getting angry. I talked about like not being red earlier, and now I am. I'm like actually upset about how fucking bad this move is. There's some cool applications of it. I saw that one clip on Twitter where someone used it to grab Abigail's like BT2 headbutt. It's pretty cool. But for the most part, that move sucks ass. I've like gotten some use out of it in the corner where the opponent can't back up. Specifically the EX one, just because it's got a hit of armor. That's okay. Okay. And then you have the parry, right? The fucking kick parry is like the most whatever move in the game. I did that was I think my 4th video. I did a fighting game garbage on that specific move. I'm not the biggest fan of a lot of my older vids. I think that one holds up, right? I like that one. Funnily enough, it's actually missing a clip. Not a big deal. It's not an important one, but I think that one holds up. That move is not great. It's just like, why? Like, oh, it's a counter. It's a frame 2 parry. Oh, but only for specific kick attacks. Okay. Did he need that? No. They literally, like, the patch after they added it, they made the input more specific. They changed it from Shoryuken and punch to Shoryuken and 2 punches, just so people wouldn't fucking get it on accident. They knew it was shit. And, like, the few scenarios I've been in where it would actually be, like, usable, I forget it fucking exists. Straight up. Like, you're never thinking about it. It does give you Oki, though. I think it leaves you, like, +1 after a forward dash. Which, like, that's dumb in its own right. You know? Because Gief doesn't have a 3-framer. So that's potentially, like, what the fuck ever. But yeah. Gief has 5 specials. But a lot of the time it feels like he's got 2. And one of them is a command grab, which is great. SPD is a phenomenal move. But you can't, like, combo into it. Outside of, like, crush... Actually, can you? Yeah. Fully charge, crush counter, stand, heavy punch. You can combo into SPD. And then in V-Trigger 2, obviously. V-Trigger 2 is its own fucking problem, right? So, sometimes it feels like all you've got is Lariat. And Lariat is the most unsatisfying fucking move. I really do not like Lariat, okay? And I'm gonna fucking say it, okay? I know, I'm talking about, like, is Zangief in Street Fighter V missing something? And I know so many people are gonna go, yes, he is. He's missing Green Hand. No. No. People thought they wanted Green Hand. People thought they wanted Green Hand in Street Fighter V. They don't. They don't, right? Because when people say, oh, I want Green Hand, they're thinking of the Street Fighter 4 Green Hand, right? And that shit was actually, like, that was OD, right? Oki off everything. Fucking the EX one was, like, frame 1 hit invincible. You could make it just... Oh, it's like, oh, I guessed wrong. Oh, my frame 1 invincible move got blocked. Aw. Don't worry, I can just spend 2 bars and make it completely safe. And then in Ultra, you had red focus. And you've got the fucking... The EX Green Hand into red focus into GG's. Fucking hell, that was OD. But you gotta realize, if Green Hand ever did get into Street Fighter V, especially post-launch, it would have been nothing like that. It would have been slow as fuck. It would have probably gotten, like, just projectile invincibility and nothing else on frame, like, 5. And then the EX one would have gotten it on frame 1, and just that. Just projectile invincibility, no fucking hit invincibility or anything like that. They would have all been, like, super fucking minus on hit. I mean, they are in Street Fighter 4, but, like, you know, they would have kept that. The EX one gives you a knockdown that doesn't give you any Oki. Yeah, if Green Hand got into Street Fighter 5, it would have been nowhere near what it was like in Street Fighter 4. And I think it would have just let a lot of people down, especially if it was V-Skill 2. Can you fucking imagine if Green Hand was V-Skill? People would lose their shit because it was Green Hand. And they'd go, then they'd go like, oh wait. Oh wow, this is nowhere near as bullshit. Oh wait, this actually isn't any bullshit at all. Huh, yeah, it's like projectile invincible on frame 7. Does 70 damage and leaves me -4 on hit. Yeah. Yeah, this fucking sucks. Oh, and I'm giving up V-Skill 1 for it. Gief's V-Skill 1 is very good. Very good move, but it's not a very, like, fun move, in my opinion. It doesn't, like, feel... It's weird. Zangief's V-Skill 1 has, like, a feel to it. It's not really a parry, but it kind of is. Parries feel cool, right? No one's denying that. Parries are, like, instant dopamine. I get none of that with Gief's V-Skill 1. And it's weird. Is it because you, like, can't really cancel it? You just do the flex and you absorb stuff during the flex? Is it because it's armor and not a real parry? I don't know, but that move... It's good, but... It doesn't feel cool. You get me? And then V-Skill 2, fucking... I don't know. I've used it. Whatever. You can get a wall bounce if your opponent, you know, drops their fucking controller. It's weird, like Gief has been so starved to get some new tools. And then his V trigger 2 and his V skill 2 are just super fucking mid. Why does V trigger 2? The whole point of V trigger 2 is that his SPDs do a fuck ton of damage, right? They get buffed, hella buffed. They all do like 300 plus damage, but they lose the Oki. Like the point of Gief is the Vortex. That's what you play Gief for. And then in V-Trigger 2, he loses that. And I get that, like, doing a move that does, like, 350 damage into a Vortex would be fucking dumb. Personally, what I would have liked to see, or maybe what I'd still like to see, is if in V-Trigger 2, the heavy SPD gave you the Oki, right? Because you can combo into the light and the X1. And obviously, if you comboed into SPD that does that much damage, it does less damage when you combo into it, but it's still a fuck ton of damage, right? If you could combo into it and then get the Oki, that would be kind of dumb. That would be a bit OD. But you can't really combo into the heavy SPD unless you're like point blank. You're not really confirming into it, right? So I think if the heavy SPD in V-Trigger 2, I think if that gave you Oki, I think it would be okay. I wouldn't mind that. And like, speaking of V-Trigger, Gief doesn't have like real V-Trigger combos, right? His V-Trigger cancels are very weird. Like in V-Trigger 2, he has like a regular-ass V-Trigger cancel, you know? Like you do a move, you go into V-Trigger, oh, you have more frame advantage, woo. You don't really get anything though with Gief. Like in V-Trigger 2, you get, I remember in Season 5, they added, Lariat into V-Trigger 2 cancel, and then after that you can juggle an EX Air SPD. When I saw that in the trailer, I was like, holy shit, that's badass! That's so fucking cool. And then I got my hands on it and I was like, wait, this fucking sucks. This is not... I don't like this. Lariat has an early hit and a late hit. You have to get the early hit to V-Trigger cancel it. And then you can juggle into EX Air SPD. But that's all you can juggle into. You can't get another Lariat. Can't get a standing heavy kick or anything like that. All you get EX SPD. And that spends your entire V-Trigger 2, right? So what you're doing is you V-Trigger cancel after Lariat in a combo. You spend a bar and V-Trigger 2 to get a bit more damage. Well, it's a fair bit more damage, but it's not crazy. Because, like, you know, you have the scaling from the V-Trigger cancel. It's nothing spectacular. And then your trigger's just gone. And I think the idea is that, Gief is tied for the most health in the game, right? So he can potentially get a second trigger. But I feel like that doesn't actually happen. That's one of those, that's a very hypothetical situation, right? Anyways, let's talk about Lariat, okay? Lariat does not feel good. I don't like how Lariat feels out of 5. Street Fighter 4, Lariat is... Well, you have two Lariats. You have the quick one and you have the normal one. And they're anti-projectile tools. And then the punch Lariat, the one that lasts a bit longer, is like your primary anti-air. That's fine. And then in Omega Street Fighter 4, you can end combos in the quick Lariat. It's not ideal, because you have the stomp. I think generally the stomp is a better combo ender than the quick Lariat. By the way, if there's a special move I would have liked to see in Street Fighter 5, it's not Green Hand, it's the fucking stomp from Omega Street Fighter 4. That shit was cool. I'll talk about why in a minute, because it kind of ties into an issue I have with Lariat. But then in Street Fighter 5, Lariat, like, is your combo ender, okay? But it's also an anti-projectile tool. And it's also your anti-air. And fuck, it feels like Lariat is doing a bit too much for Gief. This move that doesn't have any variations, because it's just done with 3 punches. There's no light, medium, heavy version, right? There's no EX version, it's just Lariat. That's all it is. And, like, I get that if you use it as an anti-air, that it can give you Oki, which is kind of cool. But as a combo ender, it's just... eh. Right? You know, it doesn't have great range. Like, Gief has 2 cancelable mediums. Crouching medium kick and crouching medium punch. And you almost never use them, because, like, pretty much, Lariat mostly just combos from crouching light kick. Right? Because the pushback on crouching medium punch is just too high. On counter hit headbutt, right? If you get headbutt is a very important part of Gief's game plan in Street Fighter 5. +7 on hit, +2 on block, and if they try to jump it, they get knocked back down. That's good. But, like, it's weird that this move is +7. Yet, pretty much all you're doing after it is your standing light kick, which is frame 5. Just because that's all that lariat can really combo with, you know what I mean? Like, by the frames, you can do headbutt, crouching medium punch. But you can't combo into lariat because there's too much pushback. And that always feels really weird. On counter hit, if you're point blank, you can do headbutt, crouching medium kick, lariat. Okay? There's a counter hit combo for you. It does 3 more damage. 3 more damage than headbutt, stand light kick, lariat. It does a bit more stun, but like kind of fucking lame. Because like light kick doesn't have much pushback. So because of that, you get the early hit of lariat. Whereas with crouching medium kick, you always get the late hit. And like if you get a spaced headbutt, right? You don't get like anything. You get a standing medium punch. And if it's max range, you don't even get that. Like, kind of lame. And if you get a counter hit headbutt from anything other than point blank, you're +9. Nothing. There's nothing like unique or interesting you get. Again, if you're point blank, you get crouching medium kick lariat. Kinda neat, I guess. But it's weird. Like I'm +9 after doing this, and I'm getting like nothing off it, right? Like think of Alex's lariat. That's kind of similar to headbutt in a lot of ways. Kind of, you know, it's a command heavy, it's forward heavy punch, plus on block, right plus on hit. Alex gets so much off that. He can go into standing medium punch. What can he do off that? Well, if he wants to leave them standing, he can go into medium chop. If he wants a knockdown and corner carry, he can do medium elbow. What if he wants to set up V-skill? Well, he can use EX chop or EX elbow. What if he's in V-trigger? Well, then he can go into the V-trigger 2 attack. Or the V-trigger... Well, yeah, like, he's got so many options. What if he gets a counter hit? Well, it's a crush counter. You can get another one. You can get another lariat and do a combo off that. You can do crouching heavy punch. Get a juggle into the EX knee. There's so much he gets off that. And Gief just kind of doesn't. Right? Gief's crush counter combos in general are really fucking just like... whatever. Right? You get standing heavy kick into the EX air thing. Or you can just go for a reset. Or you get like... if you get a fully charged standing heavy punch, you can dash in and do an SPD. Or you can do crouching medium punch, light kick lariat, right? But overall, it's super, like, whatever. It's just not that fun, right? Like, he just feels so limited. Like, there's, like, other characters get, like, crazy shit off a crush counter, right? Or if they don't, they at least have some pretty cool counter hit combos. And meanwhile, Gief just, like, straight up doesn't. And it's really weird. Like, I get that Gief has to be limited in some aspects because of his amazing, like, throw loops and stuff. But God, he just feels like he's been left behind, and he hasn't been given any help because, like, V-trigger 2, bad. V-skill 2, bad. Any significant buffs? Not really. Got the fucking stupid counter, you know. And this is why I mentioned the stomp earlier. Lariat as a combo ender does not feel good. I really don't like it. And also, I've been talking a lot about standing light kick, because that move doesn't have much pushback, so you can pretty easily get the lariat after doing it. Not as a whiff punish. As a whiff punish, you're just spinning there like an idiot, and you're so fucking vulnerable. That feels bad, man. That feels bad. Why can Gief just, like, not whiff punish? That's why I mentioned the stomp. EX stomp was really cool, because it had, like, great range, it gave you good Oki. You know, it was a good-ass combo ender. I would have loved to have seen that in Street Fighter V instead of just relying on Lariat. Oh, and yeah, and Lariat is technically an anti-projectile tool. Fucking sucks. Lariat as an anti-projectile tool is like, ugh. No? I guess it's okay for, like, multi-hit projectiles that the headbutt can't break. But it's got so much fucking recovery because there's no quick Lariat anymore, right? It's just a punch Lariat. That's it. There's no quick Lariat. So, the opponent, a lot of the time, if you're doing it too close, not close enough where you can hit them, but you're just trying to dodge an actual-ass fireball, they'll just sweep you. I've had opponents dash in and sweep me. You know? like, this move has been, like, across so many years, it's been, like, one of his primary anti-projectile tools. In Street Fighter V, that aspect of it is just kind of shit. And I get why it's shit, right? Because, like, this move is doing too much for Gief. Like, oh, it's a really good anti-air. Jesus, we can't have it be too good of a combo ender then. Oh, and we can't have it be too good of an anti-projectile tool. You know? And because of that, because you've got this one move that's doing too much for Gief, in my opinion, it's just, it has to be kind of gutted in a lot of ways. So it's not too overbearing, right? Oh, and also, yeah, you can do, like, I mentioned, like, the V-Trigger 2 combo. Like, you can do Lariat, V-Trigger cancel, the EX, air grab. You can, if you cancel it with V-Trigger 1, you don't get anything. There's no juggle. You get Oki, because you like, suck them in a bit. That's, like, Oki's not fun. Okay, Oki is fun. But it's not, you know, not a juggle. I want a juggle. I want a full-ass juggle combo. Where's that? I want that. Give me that. Nope. None of that. And to be fair, like, when you're in V-Trigger, Gief has, like, a good few more options, right? You know, he's got the spin in V-Trigger 1, and that gives him a juggle. You know, he can do, and it lets him combo off his mediums too, right? You can do headbutt into a medium, into the spin, into something else. That's nice. But, like, that's your entire V-Trigger if you want to do that. And it's a 3-bar V-Trigger. Like, I gotta spend my entire 3-bar V-Trigger to have fun once? No, that's kind of, I don't know, that's a bit much. This might be getting a bit rambly. I'm thinking back to what I've said in this video, and I'm like, Jesus, am I going off the rails? But I'm like, this is the thing, right? I genuinely start talking about Gief, and I get a bit sad, because it's like, so much of this stuff is just, it doesn't feel good, right? And if there's one thing a character should do, it's feel good. But Gief doesn't. His throw game is amazing, but everything else is just so basic. And even if it's, like, it's okay to be basic as long as it's satisfying or it works. Half the time it fucking doesn't. I can't whiff punish shit, you know? There are potential combos I could be doing that just don't work because there's too much pushback and my only combo ender sucks ass. Oh, okay. I'm gonna talk, that reminds me. Zangief Super. 720. Lamest 720 fucking ever. It's got, like, very poor range. The range on this is, like, it's not comparable to, his light SPD, is it? I don't know exactly what the range is, but it's not great. No, you're not going to be like Yugo in Third Strike, where you, like, store the 720 motion, walk forward a bit, and then, like, grab them from a mile away, and you do 60%. None of that. You can combo into it in, like, very specific scenarios, but, like, it's just, it's another thing that just doesn't feel as good as it should. If Zangief's 720 had more range, a bit more damage, and you couldn't combo into it, it would be like my favorite super in the whole game. That shit would be badass. But you can't. And it's fucking lame. Like, God, like, maybe, would that be silly? I don't know. It's a frame 1 move, so maybe that would be, like, silly for punishing stuff. But, I don't know. What would I change about Gief? I don't really know. One change I would love to see, right, is either you make his headbutt +8, or you make his sweep frame 9. I think if you get a counter hit headbutt, being able to get a sweep would be pretty cool. Because, like, the sweep isn't a great knockdown, but it's a knockdown. And I like that idea. If you get, like, a counter hit headbutt from a distance, you should be able to get something. You know, some kind of a knockdown, even if it's not a particularly great one. I think that would be cool. I'd like that a lot. Outside of that, let me juggle normal shit after the Lariat V-Trigger cancel. Let me just do another Lariat. That would be fine. I would like that. Or even let me get a reset. I don't know. Just make this character feel better. Maybe give, like, crouching heavy punch a bit more range. So I could do, like, if I'm point blank, I could do something like, or maybe if it cancelled. Maybe that would be cool. Shit, like, this is the thing. There's so many little things with Gief that if you change them just a small bit, they'd feel so much better. But I understand Gief is a very volatile character, right? Gief is the kind of character where if he gets 1 or 2 buffs in the wrong place, he's a problem. And when a character like Gief is at the top, that kind of fucking sucks. No one's having fun there. That's not cool. So I'd be really curious, anyone out there who plays Gief, like, what would you like to see for this character? What do you think should change? I'm very sorry if this was a bit rambly, or if I just went off on tangents where I'm, like, sad about this big man. But genuinely, there's so many little things about this character that bug me, man. So again, let me know what you think of Street Fighter V Gief. Let me know if you would change anything. And let me know what you'd change. Or if you just keep him the exact same. Who knows? Maybe you're completely fine with Gief. That's completely cool too. He's not my favorite character. There are things I like about him. But there's more things about him that frustrate me. So, maybe you're the same, maybe you're not. Peace.